ABC for the Ozarks, covering our community. This is KSPR News at 10.
We're all terrified. We're all looking for her, searching for her.
We're checking every lot, every side street.
And he came up to me and said, you know, can I stay with you? Are you safe?
Bring my niece, drop her off anywhere. Take her to Walmart, anywhere. Just drop my niece off and let her be safe.
The search is on for one-year-old Springfield girl you see right behind me. It's in its 9th hour tonight. Authorities across the state of Missouri say they're leaving no stone unturned as they look for Harmony Blue. Harmony and her 4-year-old brother Jerry were sitting in their father's car around 1:30 this afternoon. That's near the Save-A-Lot on East Commercial Street when a woman got into that car and drove with them still inside. Within an hour, Jerry was dropped off in the 800 block of South Newton Avenue near Fort and Grand. But the girl remains missing, and she and the woman who kidnapped her could be traveling farther away from the Ozarks with each minute that passes. KSPR's Lauren Posen has spoken with the baby's relatives and joins us live from where it all began in North Springfield. Lauren?
Melody, we spoke with the missing girl's aunt earlier today. She told us that her brother-in-law went to the front of the Save-A-Lot right over here for a brief second to see his mother. In doing so, he left his 2 children and car keys behind. Police say that's when a blonde woman got behind the wheel and took off.
It's a parent's worst nightmare.
He's just crying that he wants his baby, and he can't believe this is happening.
Shelby Fox's brother-in-law is father to 4-year-old Jerry and 1-year-old Harmony. Saturday afternoon, the Save-A-Lot parking lot turned into a crime scene.
Oh, it's worst case scenario. You know, a vehicle that's either left running or with keys in the car and the children in the car, and then somebody jumps in, a crime of opportunity, and they take off.
When the suspect took off in his car, the father ran after it but couldn't catch up.
It wasn't until they were driving away they realized there were children in the car, so it's extremely concerning to us.
At one point, she let 4-year-old Jerry go, dropping him off on the 800 block of Newton. This woman saw him walking down the street alone.
And he came up to me and said, you know, can I stay with you? Are you safe?
Beeson took Jerry inside her house. She first thought he was lost. That wasn't the case.
He told us that he was in the car with his sister and that his dad had gone into the grocery store and that some girl jumped in the car and took him and then dropped him off down there.
She called police and tried to put Jerry at ease.
And we just tried to make it comfortable for him, you know, have toys and just make it, you know, so he wasn't scared. But he was scared when he got here. He was crying. And
Fox says she found out her nephew was safe when she went to where the kidnapping all began.
My heart just like so much relief. And then I found out, you know, Harmony wasn't there, that the lady had kept her.
Fox says the car had a full tank of gas. The family went into panic mode, searching for her.
The car, get the car, keep the car. Just bring my niece, drop her off anywhere. Take her to Walmart, anywhere. Just drop my niece off and let her be safe.
Police issued an Amber Alert for Harmony. We spoke with the businesses here in this area, and they told us they didn't hear or see anything when this abduction happened. Melody?
Thanks, Lauren. During your 6 o'clock report, you mentioned that it took Springfield police about 2 hours from the time the children went missing until the public and media were notified of the kidnapping. Did they say that was a typical amount of time for a missing child alert to be issued?
Well, Melody, you know, I spoke with a couple different members of the police department today, and they said that they did everything they could to get that information out to the public as quickly as possible. Now, Major Kirk Manlove told me that before issuing a missing child alert, police first must confirm that an abduction actually happened. Then authorities must enter the child's name into the Missouri Alert database and then submit their request to Jefferson City. Now, these requirements, of course, did not stop them from notifying law enforcement officers at least an hour prior to notifying the public that a child abduction did take place. Melody?
All right, thanks for that live report, Lauren. Again, the child police are looking for is 1-year-old Harmony Blue of Springfield. She's believed to be riding in the back of a 2002 Nissan Maxima. The car is gray with tinted windows and has a Missouri license plate number of YG6K5R. If you have any information about this case or see the vehicle, please call 911. You can find all this information and the latest updates to this search on our website, kspr.com. One man is hospitalized following a stabbing at a Springfield McDonald's. It happened about 1:30 this morning at Sunshine and Lone Pine. Springfield police say several carloads of people arrived at that McDonald's and started fighting. Before police could arrive, the groups left, leaving behind the stabbing victim. He was stabbed in the chest and taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Greene County prosecutors will seek the death penalty against a Republic teenager charged with killing another teen. Gabriel Roach is charged with first-degree murder in the 2011 stabbing death of 17-year-old Weston North. North was also from Republic. A probable cause statement says North was stabbed, then begged for his life right before Roach slit his throat. Prosecutors say Roach killed North because North was a witness in a felony offense. The snow and the flurries finally stopped today. Is there any more in the forecast, or will we see a warm-up? Let's check in now with meteorologist Aaron Bull for a first look at tonight's forecast. Aaron?
I think most people are going to be really happy to say goodbye to the snow. It's March after all, time to warm up, and we're going to see a lot of sunshine tomorrow. That means warmer weather. Highs topping out in the upper 40s to lower 50s for all of us. The snow that we saw this time yesterday has pushed out of the area over towards Kentucky into Nashville, Indianapolis, Lexington. For us, just a lot of clear skies. That has allowed us to cool down rather quickly tonight. 21 degrees for Springfield, 27 right now for Kansas City. Most of us are in the middle to lower 20s, except for Camden, 19 for them, 24 for Bolivar, 25 for Branson. Now tonight, it will continue to cool down eventually to the upper teens for most of us. Tomorrow, though, it's going to be a wonderful day. The winds are going to shift around to the southeast. They'll be right around 10 to 15 miles an hour, so a little windy tomorrow, but with highs topping out in the 50s, that snow is going to really start to melt. Some of us won't even have any snow probably left by tomorrow, but it's going to get even warmer. More on that coming up in just a bit. Melanie?
Thanks, Aaron. The across-the-board budget cuts, better known as the sequester, are here. President Obama signed an order late last night launching billions of spending cuts. People across the nation are bracing for the worst. John Schifrin has the details.
Before President Obama signed the order to start $85 billion in automatic spending cuts, people across the country prepared for the worst. At Mount Rushmore National Memorial, that means no hiring for the busy summer season and no more traveling for park staffers either. At Fort Bragg, small cutbacks on energy and office supplies are already in place.
It's kind of like the sun setting, and so you're going to see it as it slowly goes down. You're going to start to see some changes gradually.
Thousands of federal workers in Central Texas will feel the most pain from the budget cuts.
Our employees have been, really confused and shattered by what could happen.
And along with worries, people seem annoyed and frustrated.
Everybody recognizes that we got to do something different, but it seems to me they could be adult.
Lawmakers appear to understand the frustration.
We shouldn't be making a series of dumb, arbitrary cuts to things that businesses depend on and workers depend on.
For the nearly 4 million Americans who have been receiving unemployment benefits for more than 26 weeks, the budget cuts could mean 9% less in their checks.
$144 a month is 1 week of groceries for myself and my 2 daughters.
The pain from most of these cuts won't be felt until next month. Flyers may face longer delays because of fewer air traffic controllers, and Civilian Defense Department staff forced to take one unpaid day every week.
But for many Americans, it's not all bad news. The sequester will not delay tax refunds. In fact, it may mean fewer audits. John Schriffen, ABC News, New York.
A sinkhole swallowed his bedroom while he slept. Coming up, find out why officials are giving up looking for the Florida man.
A monster night of high school hoops. We'll tell you who took home a district title and who's heading to state. Also, senior night for the Bears. Could they send them out with the win? That's all later in sports.
You're watching KSPR News at 10 with Melody Pettit, meteorologist Aaron Bull, and sports with Matt Warner. KSPR, covering our community.
In Florida tonight, officials are planning to demolish that house near Tampa where a man was swallowed by a sinkhole. Rescuers ended their effort to find his body because the area is so unstable, it's just too risky. ABC's Chuck Severson reports.
We feel that we have done everything we can.
Authorities are no longer looking for the body of 37-year-old Jeff Bush, who was swallowed by a sinkhole as he slept in his bedroom Thursday night.
Now, at this point, it's really not possible to recover the body.
The focus now shifts to demolishing the house on Sunday because of fears that it may cave in at any moment.
I really don't think there's any hope. They say the hole keeps getting bigger, and I don't think they're going to be able to find him.
Although the hole is contained within the house, it's growing. Grounds around it are so unstable, equipment being brought in will be kept on the perimeters. This part of Florida is dubbed Sinkhole Alley. Take a look at how many have been recorded here in the last 6 decades, and about 40% of the country is prone to sinkholes. They form when water dissolves the porous limestone underground. The surface stays intact until it collapses. Usually there are cracks, structural problems, or shifts in the soil to indicate a sinkhole is forming, but not this time.
The problem with this one was it was entirely within the building, at least initially, and below slabs, so it was hidden until it became catastrophic.
Houses next to the Bush home are at risk, so officials gave families just a half hour to go inside and gather their belongings, not knowing if or when they will be allowed back in again. A memorial for Jeff Bush will be held at a later date. Chuck Severson, ABC News, New York.
Finally, some relief. Aaron's back with a preview of the warm map in the forecast.
Melody, we really need that warmer weather. The past 3 days haven't even gotten above freezing here in Springfield. Hopefully today is the last day that we don't get above freezing until next winter. We should be at 53 degrees. Tomorrow, we're going to get closer to that. And then, well, we could get a little more rain. When will we see that? I'll let you know coming up.
We'll get you right to weather, but right now we have some breaking news. We've gotten word that the missing baby that the Amber Alert went out for has now been found. She is now at home, safe with her family. We wanted to get you that news as soon as possible, but we don't know a lot of information at this time. We're still getting word of what happened and how it all came to be. We'll get you all that information as soon as we can, but right now, then let's get you back to Aaron with your full forecast. Aaron.
Now, KSPR weather.
Okay, early this morning we saw some light flurries move on through the area. Finally, they came to an end. The sun came on out. Looking outside right now, nothing showing up on the radar. And tomorrow, it's going to be a similar story. We're going to see temperatures warm all the way up with a lot of sunshine, but it won't be until Monday night. Could see a couple showers at this time. Don't expect a lot from that, though. It's just going to be rather light. To the north, I could actually see a little bit of light wintry mix. But here are the roads, perfectly fine for the most part. Really not a lot going on, and it is cold out there. Temperature is 21 degrees, the dew point 16. It kind of gives you an indication of just how cold it can get tonight. I think a lot of us will be in the upper teens. Things have really dropped off quickly. The winds are calm, and that means no wind chill out there, but it's still cold out there, so either way you look at it. 19 degrees for Camdenton, 22 for Lebanon, 24 for Ava right now. So temperature is starting to plummet for all of us. The farther north you go with the snowpack, the better chance of maybe even seeing some places dip down to maybe 15 degrees. Wouldn't be too surprising. It feels like 15 right now in Rolla with the wind. But again, with most of us, the winds are rather calm. That's because high pressure is sitting right on top of us. The descending air kind of just dries out the atmosphere and calms things down. But around it, you start to get northerly wind if you're on the eastern side, but if you're on the western side, you get more southerly winds. And as that moves farther away to the east, that means we're going to warm up tomorrow all the way to the lower 50s, even a couple upper 40s for areas with a lot of snow. So the snow that we saw earlier today pushed well out of the area. Indianapolis, Paducah, Nashville seeing some of that. We do have some clouds to the north trying to get into the area. We will see those tomorrow, but we'll still see a lot of sunshine. So all in all, it's going to be a rather nice day, especially compared to the past several days we've seen for us here all last week. So there's that high pressure moves farther away. Again, tomorrow we do have some clouds moving to the area, but much warmer weather. Temperatures topping out. Most of us in the 50s, except for the areas with the heavy snowpack to the north. They'll probably stay in the upper 40s, but that snow's really going to melt tomorrow. There's that cold front right there. It will get closer to us for Monday. It'll still be north of us by evening time. A little bit of rain will develop on the backside of that. To the north, they'll see snow into Iowa. So if you're going to be traveling up there, probably not a great time to do that. Just postpone that a couple of days, and then it'll move through and cool us down for a couple more days. Here's your high-risk futurecast, the day at the time as we go forward. The clear skies, the clouds move on into the area. Then eventually for Sunday, kind of a mix of sun and clouds, but still a decent amount of sunshine out there. Monday, we'll see more clouds, and eventually by 6 o'clock, the rain up towards Kansas City. For us, though, we will be dry until later on the nighttime. For some areas to the north, could see a light winter mix, but not expecting a lot from that. Here's your forecast for tonight. 18 degrees, some clouds, very cold night. The wind chill, not a big deal since the winds are going to be rather light with that high pressure right on top of us. Still cold out there, 52 degrees for tomorrow. Some clouds and much warmer for the next couple of days, 55 for Monday. There's that rain that moves on in, and then cooler for Tuesday and Wednesday. Eventually, though, we warm right back up, 55 for Thursday, 60 for Friday, and also 61 for Saturday. So we haven't seen 60s for a while. That is going to feel so nice. I may have to break out the shorts. Okay, maybe not quite that much, but it's going to be nice either way.
Okay, good. All right, thanks, Aaron. Straight ahead, we get you caught up on 10 different high school basketball playoff games. And Missouri State looking to close out its regular season on a winning note. Sports coming at you next.
Now, KSPR Sports.
Well, if you're still playing at this point in the high school basketball season, then you're pretty good. Big schools looking to claim district titles, small schools trying to make it to the Final Four. We begin with the Class 5 District 11 Championship. Nixa beat Kickapoo twice already this season, but the Chiefs coming out red hot tonight. Sophomore Matt Ritter with 5 first-half trays. Second quarter, Kickapoo 7 of 8 from outside the arc. Tyson Batiste connects up 20 at the half. Coach Rip knows that lead isn't safe, though, with guys like Austin Reuter on the floor. Game high 29 for the future Bear. But the Chiefs did not relent. Seniors Tyler Bussell, Chris Ward carrying the load, and the Chiefs win the district title 89-75, and they're going to celebrate tonight.
Hey, it just feels great, man. And know that your shooters are hot, know that we're doing great on the inside, and shooters just keep making threes and doing what we do.
Kickapoo will now face Willard in the sectionals Wednesday night at SBU. In the Class 4 District 11 title game, Republic, Rogersville doing battle. Handcuffing, perhaps. Tyler's going a 15-0 run in the first quarter to build a huge lead. Second quarter, Tigers continue the momentum. The throwdown from Grant Hancock, Republic up 28-11. But by the third, the Wildcats chipping away at that lead. Justice Beaver, the pretty lay-in. 2 of his 25, Beaver Fever in Rogersville, down just 8. But by the fourth, Republic, they regained their swagger. Jake Fletcher, the steal, he'd finished with 17 as Republic takes the district title by 20, 61-41.
Couldn't ask for a better start, and I think that kind of carried over. And you always worry about coming out and playing at your best at this time of year, and I think we did that.
The Tigers will next get Carl Junction on Wednesday. All right, Class 4, Hillcrest, Bolivar fighting for the District 10 title. Austin Petrie helping Hillcrest jump out to 12-2 early lead with 3 of his team-high 16 points. Bolivar playing from behind pretty much the entire way. Cody Garrison with the points in the paint here, making a 7-point ball game, but Hillcrest putting it in cruise control in the second half behind Jawan Johnson. He finished with 13. The Hornets win 67-47. It's their 4th district title in a row. Staying in Class 4 District 10, on the girls' side, Marshfield taking on Bolivar. Allison Van Digglen with 9 points to lead the Lady Jays. This Van Digglen bucket gave Marshfield a 4-point lead. Bolivar not backing down, though. Mary Beth Payne, the layup here with under 2 to play, tied it at 38 all. Shelby Roberts led Bolivar with 14, her biggest bucket of the night coming in the final minute, putting the Liberators up 2, giving them the lead for good. Bolivar takes it 42-38. It's their first district crown in 5 years. To the small schools now, trying to advance to state Class 3 quarters. Stratford facing Fatima. Tight ball game in the first half. Stratford's Kyle Foley hitting the pull-up. Jay ties it at 22 all. Fatima would have an answer at the other end, though. Getting to the rack for 2. Fatima would have a 6-point lead at the break. They pull away in the second half. Stratford falls 65-45. Great run comes up just short of the Final Four. Class 3 quarters for the girls. Ash Grove and St. James. Haley Cascio knocking down the first half triple. She'd have a team-high 12. St. James by 4 at the break. They hold on to win at 63-54. Good season for Ash Grove, but it ends tonight. To Class 2 we go. State quarters, Pierce City, Iberia. Winner moving to the Final Four. Pierce City's Colton Drollinger driving into the lane, going off the window for 2. They're having a tough time with the big fella. 6'9", center, Dexter Frisbee from Iberia, just a freshman. You're going to hear a lot about him in the future. He goes for 15. Iberia moving on to the Final Four with the 52-47 win. Game you're going to hear about for quite a while. Girls quarters, Crane, Crocker. Crane building a big first half lead. Emma Lander with the bucket. Crocker coming back. Final seconds of the ball game. Lindsey Medlin, tough shot to tie it at 66. And now the craziness starts. Crane's Riley Israel gets the ball on the move, pulls up, knocks it down at the buzzer. Referees say it counts, but did she get it off in time? We freeze frame it. The answer, no, not even close. Bad call to end the game. Heartbreak for Crocker as the Crane girls are moving on to the Final Four. The last one boys quarters now. Fair play facing one loss. Drexel, the Hornets, Lance Schaefer doing all he could do in this one. The up, under, pretty basket. He'd lead all scorers with 34. But Drexel, they got some ball players now. Javen Johnson with the 3-ball. And Drexel in control of this one from start to finish. They end Fair Play's run 84-67. And in the Class 1 girls game, Walnut Grove trying to get back to the Final Four, facing Drexel. Lady Tigers cruising in this one. Madison Freeze hitting from downtown. Walnut Grove, of course, playing that suffocating press defense. Pays off here. The turnover leads to points from Carson Haney. And the star of the day for Walnut Grove, though, Lexi Harmon, 24 points to lead the way. Lady Tigers headed back to state. They beat Drexel 64-45. Other scores from area teams. Last year, the Eminence girls made the Final Four. This year, the boys do it as they take down Scott County Central. In Class 2, Winona loses a heartbreaker to Oran, 63-61. As for the girls, in Class 1, Chadwick beats Naylor, 61-52. They'll now face Walnut Grove in the state semis. In Class 2, the Skyline girls win 61-33. They'll next face Crane in Columbia. And finally, in Class 3, Stockton couldn't make it 3 straight Final Fours. They fall to Cameron 55-52. For more, hit up OzarkSportsZone.com. Watch the Ozone Show right here tonight at 11. Well, we turn to the college game now. The Bears wrapping up the regular season tonight against Bradley. And they were also recognizing 2 important players. It was senior night at the Q. The lone senior, Anthony Downing, honored. Also being honored, junior Keith Pickens. He's retiring after the season. To the game now. After falling behind early on, the Bears would rally. Downing on the run, finding the freshman. Senior to freshman Marcus Marshall for the lay-in. Bears grab a lead midway through the half. Later, Marshall, check out the block. Little fella getting up with a swat at one end, starts the break at the other end. Nathan Shear finishes with the lay-in. MSU by 6 at the half. Second half, how about those guys playing their final home game? Keith Pickens, pretty little spin in the lane, gets it to go. He'd finish with 8 points. Anthony Downing would score 15, and the Bears send Downing and Pickens outright. They beat Bradley tonight, 64-56, the final. Mizzou hosting LSU this afternoon. Tigers struggling with 3-point defense early. Charles Carmouche 3-ball. Made it 25-12 LSU. Tigers in purple with the momentum, but back comes Mizzou. Ernest Ross, bucket and the foul, tied it up. Tigers by 4 at the half. Second half, Mizzou starts to build that lead. Pretty pass from Pressey to Jabari Brown, and one. And then Pressey again, finding his old high school teammate from AAU ball, Alex Oriaki, for the mash. He'd finish with 18 and 10. Tigers win at 89-76. Up next for Mizzou, Arkansas on Tuesday. Speaking of Arkansas, they took on Kentucky. Hogs trying to build that tournament resume. This helps your personal resume. Cody Clark throwing it down with 2 hands moments later. Off the turnover, Rashad Madden, he's getting out and sending it home. Razorbacks will lead by just 3 at the half, but in the second half, they go on a run. Marshawn Powell getting inside the hoop and the harm. He led the way with 15 points as the Hogs get a big resume win, 73-60, your final. The Evangel men hosting Central Methodist in the HAC tournament semifinals. Jamie Donnelly making nice use of the pivot foot. Gets the lay-in. Evangel led by just 1 at the half, but we're going an 18-0 run to blow the doors off CMU in the second. Evangel looking like the #1 seed tonight. They win at 77-55. They'll now face Mid-America in the Conference Tournament Championship. That's on Tuesday night at the Ashcroft Center. And finally, SBU basketball teams wrapping up their regular season at Missouri Western. The guys fall 72-58. The women lose as well, 71-64. Another double-double for Jackie Zelenka. Now, if that wasn't enough for you, right here on KSPR, 11 o'clock, the Ozone Show. We're doing it live. Coming to you live, full recap of all the high school games, all the college games, and one last little note for you as well. Darnell Green Beckham, younger brother of Doriel Green Beckham, it was reported tonight, committed to Mizzou to play wide receiver there, so he'll be joining his brother in 2014.
How cute.
Is that enough for you?
Brothers.
That's a little bonus there.
That's a lot of sports. That's a lot of ball. I love it.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Coming up, the latest on tonight's breaking news. The 1-year-old abducted in Springfield has now been found safe. Details next on KSPR News at 10. An update now on that breaking news in Springfield. Police just announced within the past 15 minutes that the missing 1-year-old girl has been found safe and is now back home with her family. Right now, it's unclear whether police have arrested the kidnapper. Here's a quick timeline of what happened. Police got a call about 1:30 this afternoon that Harmony Blue and her 4-year-old brother Jerry had been kidnapped near the Save-A-Lot on East Commercial Street. Their father had briefly left them and his keys inside the family's car. Within an hour, the boy was found in a neighborhood in southwest Springfield. At 3:30, Springfield police issued a missing child alert. Then just after 10 p.m., police made the happy announcement that Harmony had been found safe and was reunited with her family. So good news there. Yeah. Glad that she was found safe and sound. Last check of weather.
It's going to be cold tonight. Temperatures bottoming out in the upper teens. Tomorrow, 52. A little bit of rain Monday night and Tuesday.
That's KSPR News for this Saturday night. We'll have more news tomorrow at 5. Stay tuned for a live edition of The Ozone.
11 o'clock.